we're going to turn this page into this one and use a lot of experimentation with different techniques and see what does and doesn't work or what you prefer. So join me. Oh, hello. Hi again. I hope you're going to join me today for another coloring session. We're going to be coloring a page out of this beautiful Mexican coloring book that my husband and I did. We're called Giggly Goo Art. I'm Rebecca, and I want to do a little flip through with you to show you some of the beautiful pages that we created. This is one we did the other day, actually. But we have a number of pages that have traditional Mexican cuisine, Mexican toys, more cuisine, just a lot of references to the Mexican culture. We created this book because our daughter is 2 years old. She's a little over 2 years old now, and she was having a hard time coloring, and she was very self-conscious about staying within the lines. So we wanted to we were looking actually for a book that had really bold and easy coloring pages, and we couldn't really find anything. So we created one, and it's easy for her. She's learning how to color. Here's one we did the other day. This is the El Charro. It's a mariachi guy, and there's just some really beautiful pages in here. Look at this. I can't wait to color this one. But today I picked out a page. We're gonna do something very simple today. I know some of the other pages have been much more detailed, but I think we're gonna do something a lot more relaxed and simple. So we're gonna do some maracas, and it's time to celebrate, right? It's really fun musical instrument that you shake. Actually, we had some maracas around here. I don't know where they went. But you do these. As always, I have pulled up some inspiration for myself, and I think that's a good recommendation for you. If you ever get stuck on what do I do with a page, just do an image search of something, get inspired, and that will get the juices flowing. I also like having a reference to see how things, in natural light are shadowed, because I like to shadow and highlight things. But I think what we'll do today is do sort of like Mexican color theme for these maracas. And if you want to pick up this book, it is available on Amazon. We're thinking of making some downloadable images available so that you can print them out at home and color along with me. You can do it your own way. You can follow along. Just join me and relax and enjoy coloring. I have my favorite mug with coffee that I've halfway drunk already. And let's get started. So, since I'm going with some Mexican themes, I want to pick some greens and reds. And actually, so greens and reds. And because I know I'm going to do some highlights and shadows, I'm going to pick a couple of different red shades so that I can go from like a highlighted color to a shaded color. And maybe we can pick green first. So here's my swatch card. I have the Chotun set of 120 colors. That's what I have right here in front of me. They're alcohol-based markers, and they're very affordable if you want to pick some up. I'll link them below. And they're much more accessible than some of these expensive alcohol marker brands. So I'm working with these, and if you want to pick those up, that's great. if you have a different set of colors already, you can just sort of follow my philosophy of shading and pick your own colors and just do something similar. So what I'm gonna do, I want like a really deep green. So I think for what I want to do, I actually like these greens down here, and maybe I'll pick like this 53 green for the deep green. This is a turquoise green. Maybe I should do more of a, maybe for the middle green, should be something more like this 55, or maybe 54. I really do want it to be like a deep green. But is that too similar? Could be. So maybe we can start with, maybe the middle green is the 55. Let's see what that is. 55 is emerald green. 54 is radiant. I don't know. I'll set both of those aside because I can marinate on which color I want. Maybe I can do a little test area to see what I'm feeling. And then we'll do a lighter green. So this 58 looks good. That's going to be for the highlighted areas. And I'll start, I'm going to take this is called mint green light. It's number 58 here. So I'll start with this as the base so that we can make sure we go from light to dark. And so 58, we're going to do this. One of these is going to be the middle. Maybe it's both, I don't know. And then we'll end up at 53 for the shadows. That's the philosophy I'm going with right now. So if you have a different set of colors, you can pick your own colors, or you can use the same colors if you want, or you can do a totally different color if you want and just say, hey, I want pink maracas. That's fine too. Okay, so these markers have both the brush tip and the fine tip. I'm going to use the brush tip because I'm going to be covering some larger surface areas initially, and then maybe once I go into the details, we can go into the fine. I don't know if we'll need details today. Well, let's see. Now, which areas am I going to do green? I think this stripe up here, actually, I will do green, and maybe down here as well. So, let's see. We'll just start on this side. It's great that these are small areas because with the alcohol markers, if you don't blend it while it's wet, you can get streaky lines. That's when you're first using alcohol markers. Some people have a hard time with getting streaks, and the problem is if you color over here and then color over here, and then if it dries on one side and then you go back, then you're going to get a line because it's not going to blend while it's wet, and it will be like putting a second layer on that first layer on the edge when you do try to blend it. So that's a little tip for you. I'm going to do this side as well. Now, if you do have larger surface areas, sometimes it's best to go really fast. Okay. source is this way. Maybe the highlight, like a rounding, like the highlight is going to be shaped sort of like this. So maybe I'll do some darker colors, maybe on the side here and leave that. Start with this 55 because this is a little bit lighter than the 54. So let's see what happens. I'm going to use the brush tip again. Maybe I'll start on this side. Now this one I don't necessarily want to blend yet because I'm thinking that this highlight is going to be more of a shine. There we go. So I'm going to leave it as more of a defined highlight, and then I'll go like this. Yeah, there we go. So that's going to be the highlight, and then I can consider doing a little bit more of a blending later on, but I think maybe I might put some white gel on that. Now, since this one is sort of, if I see my light source this way, this one's going to be a little bit of a mirror, I think, of what the other one is. So let me see. It's going to look more like this. That highlight. What do you think? Let's try it. This side is harder to color. There we go. We'll let that dry. Now, oh no, I was going to do the strip. Okay, well, anyway, we did this green instead. Maybe this color will be the neutral color. And let's see, we can do maybe we can do, let's see, what's our plan? This could be, so what I was going to do is neutral red. That's going to be neutral. This could be red. This could be neutral. This one could be green. We could do green on this one. Should we do that? Let's try it. Let's at least put down our base color, which is the lightest color. Let's do it. first with the 55. This one I may have done 54. It's a little darker. Actually, let's see. Maybe I can do a little different test on this one. What if we do something like... This is all an experiment, my friends. Everything in life. Maybe you've heard me say this before. Everything in life is an experiment, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how I feel about that yet. Let's see. The good thing about having two of these is that you get to try different things. That's what I love. I love it. And the other thing you can do, so let's say we did put this one on first. I think I may have skipped over the 55 on this side and went straight to 54, but if you want, you can put a second layer. Okay, let's see if we can do that right here. And it will give it like some more depth without having to even change colors. It's like a layered effect. So let's see how that looks. Now, what I'll do is, let's see, we're going to try to bring this around. Maybe I should start with the neutral, or maybe I should use a red. What do you want to do? Do you want to do red or neutral first? Let's do the red. Because that's going to be fun. Okay, so red. I really love this number 2. I'm going to make that our main. Maybe we'll do like a 10 or 15. Maybe we just go straight to from 15 to 2. Or maybe a 5 to 2. 15 or 5. 15 or 5. What do we want to do? I think we'll go 15, 2, and then maybe shadow with 1. 15, 2, and 1. Okay. A lot of times you'll see me go even lighter with the highlight colors, but today I'm just gonna dive right in, and then later on we'll just add some white gel pen to highlight. Okay, so this is my progression. Okay, 15, 2, and 1. That's how I'm gonna progress these colors. So let's do that. 15, we'll start with 15. And like I said, we're going to do this kind of zigzag area right here. Lay that down right away. It's looking like a watermelon. It's looking like a watermelon. That's fun. I didn't plan on that, but that's fun. This little seeds right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colors. So my husband and I, we are currently in Mexico. We have like living the dream, honestly. Living the dream. So, okay, so we're done with that. I'm going to set that aside. Wait for this to dry. Now, let's see. Now that this strip is dry here. Actually, you know what? I want to select my neutral colors. And I'm assuming that these maracas are wood. So I want like a wooden color. So let's see, what would make a good wooden color? I'm gonna keep it light. Actually, maybe I quite like this WG3. It's supposed to be a gray, but it's a warm gray, so it kind of looks a little bit beige. Beige color. And then 134. Is that too light? 134. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this color right here. Is that too light? 134 WG3, and then a shadow color could be something like I don't know. Any of these browns, probably. Or should we just dive right into some of these colors here? Well, let's start with 134 because, like I always say, you can't go backwards. You can always go darker, but you can't go lighter. So we'll start with 134 as our base. And then we'll see what happens. This one is called Raw Silk. Raw Silk. Let's put that down here. Give us that light color. Yes. Then I'm gonna color this one also. I'm gonna make it that wood section. Unpainted wood. So I'm assuming that the colors are painted and the wood color is unpainted. That's my assumption. And then maybe we'll make this part red. Should we make this part red or the handle red? Maybe we'll make this part red actually. We should do that. Okay. So I'm gonna do this part. It is really light. But like I said, we can always go darker. We can't go lighter. And this is just a highlight color also. So that's our first color for the neutral section. Now, let's see. I did say that I like this warm gray color. It's this one, warm gray. Number 3. That's what this is. We'll use that one as our second color. Let's see if this is dry. Okay, let's see. That's nice, actually. That's nice. Okay. That's starting to take shape. See, now I'm pulling through this highlight, this same shape, right, through here, so that it's all going to be looking like this whole thing is shiny. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so let's see if we were to pull that through. Maybe more that goes like this. Ooh, I made my own mistake that I was telling you about. I color two sections. Be careful because it could leave a streak. I think I saved it down here, but I went over up here. I wasn't thinking. I was going into automation mode. Not really thinking what I was doing. Okay. Now let's see if we were to bring that down. Did that very fast. Okay. There we go. Okay. It's not a perfect line, but you know what? We're gonna do like a white pen over the top and finish it. Okay, so now that we have put down this top two sections and then the middle section with the shadow, what I think we can do is put down the base. I think we'll do the red here, and then we'll start filling in some of the shadows on the ones that we've already put the base down. So I'm going to take the lightest color of the red, which is that number 15, and I'm just going to fill in this bottom section here. Now I'm going to be a little careful here because these reds sometimes tend to bleed outside the lines because they're so rich. That's just from experience. Now this one I apparently use a lot because you can tell that the ink is not as saturated as it used to be. But that's okay, there's still plenty of ink. Okay, so that's our base. For the red section, we've done the base on this red section, but we haven't done any of this sort of highlight color yet. So we're going to take this second color, the old red, which is the number 2, and let's see what happens. We're going to follow this highlight line again, and then color in the rest of this. Okay, following that line here. Okay, so now it's kind of creating this curved shape. Follow that here. as well. What's really difficult is getting all of these to line up. And if it doesn't, it's okay. We're gonna maybe try to blend it, or we're gonna go and use our highlight white gel pen at the end, so that's gonna create a definitive line over all of this, and it'll kind of smooth out those rough edges. Okay, that's our second color, the old red. Now let's take this. You know, I kind of like what we did over here with we skipped over this 55 and went straight to the 54, whereas this one we did the 55 then the 54. I kind of like this one where we did the 54 and then doubled up on the 54. So I think I'm going to do that technique over here. Okay. So again, I'm going to follow some of this rounded shadow or highlight, however you want to look at it. Okay, let's get close. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just end it there. Okay. Same thing on this side. Same thing on this side. We've got it. We have some workers in the front yard. Maybe you can hear them. We're putting in one of these extra cisterns that are, it's like a big water tank. Putting that into the front of the yard because we didn't have any hurricanes or any rain, quite frankly, this season. So, and because we live in the desert in Baja, water scarcity is going to be a very big issue this year. So now that we have this base color down at the bottom, I'm going to extend this highlight section and create the shadows with our you know what, this is our primary color. I'm going to take this secondary color, yes, the one that we already used for these shadows, and that's the fine tip. I'm going to, let's see, how are we going to do this? I think we're going to create like, this little, maybe I can bring it a little bit closer like that, more like an egg. There we go. There, I like that better. Like a little moon, crescent moon shape. Crescent moon. Okay. Let's do that side over here. Also, maybe I can bring this over. Yes, there we go. There we go. Now I'm just going to fill in this pretty quickly. Yep. There we go. Now, what color are we going to do these guys? Are we going to go with that natural color? I think so. I like that. I like the natural color. What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to try, so on this side, we'll have the highlight over here and then the shadows over here. I'm going to try blending it while it's wet. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if we do that. We'll do it just on one side first. Okay. We'll fill this all in. Okay. And then we'll go straight away into this color. Just right. Go kind of right down the middle there. That looks pretty cool, actually. I may actually, you know what we can do? Let's try an experiment. Let's wet this. Wet this. And try to blend a little bit that highlight area. And kind of go over again. Let's see what happens. Might regret it. Might not. Who knows? Let's see what happens. That's going to be our little experiment strip. But I quite like how this came out, like a very velvety type of color. What we can try to do is blend this one a little bit too. Let's see if we can do that on top. What I would do is, let's take our lightest color, this highlight color. We can wet all of this, try to sort of blend it in, make it all very wet. It's gonna smear it a little bit, so be ready for that. But I think once we wet it, it's gonna get kind of this more of a blended shadow. You know, could regret it. That's also something that could happen. But let's see. We can always do it again and try blending a little bit more. Maybe we take that 55 and also do a little bit more of a blending here. There we go. Let's see what happens there. All right, we're going to let that dry a bit. Let that dry a bit and settle. I quite like how this came out. Now, if we were to take a shadow color for, well, we haven't done any shadow colors for any of these yet. So, but I think what I want to do is maybe test out some of these blending techniques first. I'm going to try them out on maybe this one, and if we like it, we can replicate it on this side. I'm going to try doing this with the red as well, so that the lines are not as sharp. Oops, I went over there. I was going a little too fast. That's sometimes something I end up doing because I lack patience. That's one of my flaws. I lack patience. So, yeah, what I'll do is take this secondary red, maybe do another layer here so that hopefully it blends in quite nicely. Make sure it's nice and saturated. Okay, that's going to blend in a little bit more, I think. do this also, this next section. See how this all turns out. And go over again with this darker color so that it blends a little bit better. There we go. Okay. And again with this green section. Oops. The fine tip. This is our lightest color green again. We're going to blend that so that maybe these lines will bleed a little bit better. Remember, this is going to get a little smudgy, so that's why we want to make it nice and wet, very wet. And go over with a lot of these colors. So we have the 54 secondary color that we like so much. And then we've got this last section here that is like, I don't know, this one needs a whole lot of, well, maybe, let's see. Ooh, the colors are bleeding over. I put a lot of ink down. Oops, I put a lot of ink down. Maybe that wasn't the way to go. What I probably should have done is blended it while it was still in the first layer that I ever did. Okay, it's all in experimentation, right? Okay, well, so we have this one. We're going to leave this one like that. I am going to use this technique over here, though, the same that I did here. That was really nice. So let's put that down. Base color, which was that 134 raw silk. Now, let's go ahead and do this color. These colors are quite nice together. Now for this one, let's see. For this one, I'm going to wait till for this side to dry. I did a lot of blending, a lot of going over. I'm going to leave this. We're doing two different techniques here, okay? We're doing more of a blended technique over here, and then more of a defined line over here. So for this one, let's see. We've got our darkest color that we haven't done yet. We did our light color, 58. We started with 55. So we started with 58, then on this one we did 55, and then went straight to 54 on the other ones, which I quite like. Actually, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do a second layer of the 54 on this side, which I think turned out, I like it. Actually, I quite like it. So let's do that here. Let's do that here. Oops. Okay. beauty of having the two identical things. It really is. Okay, and then I think we'll use that same technique where we go use the same color but go over twice. So I'm going to use this old red, our middle color, and create again that sort of like a gradient but with the same color. And then I'll do that here as well. Yeah, so we're going to take that same technique, which I think that turned out quite nice, actually. And then I'll do the same for the this neutral. So I'm going to go over again with the middle color, just like this, just like this. And then also right here. Okay. Also right here. Okay. And then for this side, I do a more defined shadow. And then also right underneath here, assuming that this is creating a shadow underneath, I'm going to do the same on this side. There we go. Yeah, that's quite nice. So I do like how this blended version is looking. I'm not quite that thrilled about this side, the unblended, but let's keep going so that we can continue to compare, because at the end you never know what's going to win. You never know what's going to come out on top. Now that we have pretty much these different bases, now we can go in with all of our darkest colors. So we've got the red, we start out light, medium, and now we have the dark. We have to go, same with the green, light, medium, now we have the dark, and then with the neutral color, we have the light, the medium, and we haven't even picked out our dark yet, so why don't we do that now? Why don't we do that now? So the color that we have 134 right here. We have WG3, and then, maybe we'll do WG5 for our shadow, darkest shadow. WG5, it's this warm gray. I think that'll be nice for the ultimate shadow. Actually, this blending is turning out better than I originally thought it was going to. See, that's why the beauty of experimentation, right? But let's keep going. Now, what I didn't do, what I'm going to do now is, I was waiting for this piece to dry down here, but we need to go our second layer of this old red. So we did all the other ones, and then now we can do it here as well. So let's see. Okay. Okay, there we go. green starting from this side, right? Should we start from that side? Okay, now we'll use the brush tip. And then maybe let's just do the outer layer first. I'm not sure if we should go further, maybe a little bit further. Yeah, let's do it like that. So if we were to take it all the way across, something like this. There we go. Here we go. We're done with that side. Should we do this side now? I think that's ready. So, we can also start. Okay, something like that. There. This side. I'm assuming we go follow this. We can go over this with the shadow. There we go. Alright, we're done with the green. We can go do a second layer of this if we want to, but let's let that sit for a minute. I'll keep these dark ones right over here so we can access them. Now, shall we do the red? Let's do this wine red. It's a wine red, the darkest red that we have. Or, you know what? Why don't we do, since we have this kind of shadow, running shadow, I think maybe doing this warm gray next would be great. There we go. Okay. Something like this. Also over here. And then I think what we'll do right underneath. And then maybe right here as well. Yeah, like that. Okay. We're done with that one on this side. How about we do it on this side now? Okay. Let's see. This one. The dangers of having a really good microphone. Okay, so we're gonna go under there, create some shadow, and then right here as well. So there we go. We're done with this color. We are done, unless we want to go back in and create another layer of shadow, which we can definitely do. I may do actually, because right closer to the edge we want to get a little even darker, little darker. But then what color next? Red. We can't forget the red. Oh, we did the red. Did we do the red? We did the red. Not on this side. Okay, so here. Or maybe not on either side. We can go over it again. Okay, here we go. There we go. On the bottom edge, we're going to just pull it all the way down because probably it has some more shadow. Actually, you know what? Maybe I didn't want to do that, but it's okay. It's an experiment. I may blend this a little bit more with some of this red here. It down for some of that extra shadow, and maybe I would have wanted to keep some of that highlight. I mean, there's still some there, but not as much. Still looks pretty good. Let's do it on this side. You know what we didn't do? I didn't do the darker color of this brown. Now let's take this red, stark red. Okay, and then let's try to keep some of that. Let's see. There we go. All right. Now we have some a little bit more defined. What I want to try doing, actually, let's go over and see if we can blend this a bit more. What do you think? Should we do it? Or is that going to be too much? Might be, maybe it's too much. But I want to show you how I would do it if we were to do it, okay? So we'll keep this one the way it is. We'll blend this one, okay? So I'm going to take the lightest color, and I'm going to go over this, make sure it's nice and saturated. Okay. We'll do this warm gray again. And then, finally, oh no, actually that was the darkest gray. Okay, that's what we did. That's what we did. I can actually, maybe I can take the middle color, do a little blending here, more. But yeah, and then maybe we can do another layer of this warm gray on the edge. It's probably going to look kind of like this velvety color. So let's let that simmer so we can see what that looks like as a different technique, okay? Now, I think we're done with this. do, at least with this one. So what I'll do is take one of our jelly roll pens. Let me see if this one is the one that works as well. There's one that works better than the other. Maybe I can do a little test. We can do a little test on the cardstock. Always use cardstock, by the way. Always use cardstock in the back because look, these colors definitely like to blend through. I think this is the one that does better, so I'm going to use that. But let's see. Okay, we'll take this pen and go like this. Now, if you want, you can also smear this so that it kind of has a blended color. Smear, and then you can go over it again, or you can just go like this, create some thicker parts. Smear didn't quite turn out that great, but that's okay. Now what we can do on this one is just do it once. Maybe do like a little dot here. This pen isn't quite doing the job that I was hoping it would. Sometimes the ink isn't flowing as well as I'd like. That's what's happening right now. It's getting a little bit stuck, so I'm having to go over it again. Do is smear that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's better. Drag it inward. That's creating kind of this shine effect. Like some shine going on from, let's say, overhead shine over here. And so there's a couple of different techniques. Let's try to do some like this as well. Yeah, there we go. So this is one technique. You can do the line and then drag so that it sort of has this wispy shine to it. And or you can just do like a single solid line. That works too. So I wanted to show you those two different techniques as well. So I think what I'll do here is maybe make like a bigger shine in the middle. Maybe smear that down. There we go. So there, now you get some of this other shiny effect. So we learned a few different techniques, tested out some different things on each side. At the end of the day, I think some of the techniques that I used over here worked better. But it's great to compare and try and experiment with different things. So what I may do is just add another reflection over here. There we go. Okay. So maybe down the middle too. All right. Now I'm going to call it a day. We did it. We keep experimenting, but these are some different techniques. I hope you enjoyed coloring with me today. If you want to pick up this book, it's the Mexican coloring book. It's available on Amazon. If you want me to create some digital downloads, let me know in the comments and I can do that. Remember to search for Giggly Goo Art. That is us.